We have some breaking news today which, judging by the tone of the correspondence, may herald the end of civilization as we know it. A letter has been passed to us.
And before we get to that, an apology. The second half of our touching and deeply moving Lemming saga will have to wait. Because a letter has arrived. An intervention, perhaps, or possibly a sign from God. Nationally, Count Binface is fighting an election against a comedian. Meanwhile, here in North Taunton, the council appears to be fighting the law and inadvertently auditioning to become comedians themselves. The crucial difference, of course, is that Count Binface knows it's satire.
Anyway, the letter. Its recipient resides approximately 30 yards from the council office. Nevertheless, the council apparently deemed it necessary to spend £5.95 posting it. For geographical context, the recipient's postbox is literally 2 doors away. Still, why walk 30 yards when the taxpayer can fund a full-scale postal expedition? It's reassuring to see the council's legendary commitment to value for money remains undisturbed by either distance or common sense. North Taunton Town Council has formally ordered us to stop editing and publishing edited extracts from its public meetings. It contains everything one expects from a formidable legal notice: capital letters, bullet points, a 7-day deadline, and an impressive reservation of rights. Everything, in fact, except the law.
That's a fairly important thing to leave out of a legal letter, mate. It's rather like sending someone a speeding ticket but forgetting the speed limit, the road, and whether you own a police car. Maybe editing requires planning permission now. 3 copies of the application, a site plan, and 8 weeks for the council to decide whether the joke is in keeping with the surrounding area.
This magical missive goes on and states that the council formally requires that you immediately cease editing, altering, reproducing, or publishing edited versions of recordings of council meetings. Formally requires. That's a splendid phrase. Firm, authoritative, practically wearing a wig and banging a gavel. What the letter does not explain is where the council acquired the power to prohibit what we're doing.
Righto, let's cut to the cheese course, because the meat of this story takes years to digest. A councillor experiences bullying from the council. His knowledge of local government provokes unwanted questioning of his scrutiny. So, he decides to film the meetings, partly to record their behaviour, partly to bring greater transparency, and partly so residents who can't attend can still watch their council at work. The council responds calmly and proportionately. Nah, just kidding. It kicks up an almighty fuss. Despite the right to film public council meetings being recognised in law, the councillor is met with suspicion and on a couple of occasions told he couldn't film. He's then threatened with removal if he tries. In fact, we have a clip that shows what he was up against.
Councillor Martin, some members of the public have objected to being filmed or recorded. So when we get to the public period, I should ask you to stop recording.
Well, they're not being filmed.
They don't want to be recorded either.
If they speak in a public meeting, then they can be recorded.
Sorry, if you persist.
It says it here, right here on the agenda. Item 3 is public forum.
Yeah,
It's part of the public meeting.
Yeah, you ask you to stop the recording for the public period.
It is part of the meeting.
If you're going to be difficult, then it's not going to help. I'm
The
requesting
law is
you.
on my side.
I don't care what the law says. The members of
So
the
you're
public
quite happy to break the law?
I'm not breaking the law. Members of the public have requested that they do not be filmed
They're
or
not going to
recorded.
be filmed.
Or recorded.
They can be recorded if they're contributing to the public forum.
They've objected and they've given their objection.
They can be recorded.
Right, Councillor Martin, I will request you to stop your recording during the public period. If you do not wish to do that, then you are disrupting the meeting.
I'm not disrupting the meeting.
You will be if you do not follow the request to stop recording.
Well, I think you need to go and check the law.
I'm not going to go and check the law now.
Well, then you're going to be breaking the law.
Well, I don't care about that. But
That was the tip of the iceberg. Freedom of information and subject access requests later reveal attempts within the council to find some watertight ways to postpone a meeting to avoid him filming. Unfortunately, every piece of free advice and the local council association's guidance keeps returning the same inconvenient answer. Yes, he can film. The council then refuses to hold a meeting because he intends to film and blames him for the meeting not going ahead. And then publishes minutes for a meeting that didn't happen, recording comments from the public and councillors denouncing the councillor for wasting their time, all because he wanted to exercise his right to film a meeting. The council then publicly at the next meeting presents the councillor with letters stating that fellow councillors object to being filmed, which is a bit like writing to Cadbury and demanding that it stop making chocolate. You can put it in writing, mate, but it still doesn't change the law. All this despite the law clearly permitting filming. And despite the neighbouring council of South Taunton having adopted a filming policy 4 years earlier, here's the smelly, rotten, sock-ripe, camembert cheesy bit. Both councils employed the same clerk. Apparently, filming was perfectly understandable in South Taunton, but go north and a twilight zone exists. No one understands the law allows for filming. It becomes one of the great unsolved mysteries of local government. Joking aside, the council already has the answer, but decides to spend £750 of public money asking a media lawyer the same question. The lawyer replies, and I quote, "Any individual can do whatever they want to do unless there is an English law that specifically states that they can't." And continues. The council cannot prohibit any person filming or uploading or editing a recording if it takes place in public, including any public meeting. Let's just read that out again. The council cannot prohibit any person filming or uploading or editing a recording if it takes place in public, including any public meeting. And what did it say in the letter from the council? The council formally requires that you immediately cease editing, altering, reproducing, or publishing edited versions of recordings. Slow this right down so everyone hears us at the council. The council cannot prohibit any person filming or uploading or editing a recording if it takes place in public, including any public meeting. Filming, uploading, editing. Got that? Right, cracking on. 750 quid. To discover that the law still means what the law says? Undeterred by the answer, the council writes a filming policy which still attempts to impose restrictions the law doesn't allow. The councillor then proposes that the council stream the meetings itself, giving it control over its own recordings. The council refuses. The councillor offers to set up a YouTube channel for them and give them copies of all the recordings. The council rejects this offer. The councillor resigns not long afterwards. But he continues attending meetings, recording them and publishing them in full for residents to watch. Suddenly, the council decides streaming meetings might be a rather good idea after all. So it starts streaming them. Then the recordings attract comedy and satire. Our first attempt, June 2026. The council's next bright idea, put stopping the live stream on the agenda for August 2026. Because apparently the problem isn't what happens at the meetings, it's that residents can see it happening, with a smile on their face, with a chuckle in their belly, and a tickling of the ribs. After having streamed its meetings for nearly a year, the council sends a letter demanding that this vlog podcast stop or comply with conditions seemingly drafted under the laws of the People's Banana Republic of North Taunton. So, after spending years discovering that public council meetings may legally be filmed, the council appears ready to begin the entire adventure again. Same question, same law, same answer, and possibly another £5.95 in postage. I hope the Lemming story makes sense now. We promise to tell the second half with considerably more tenderness, far less speed, and possibly the assistance of a local authority-approved emotional support wheel of cheese. As always, if we've got something wrong, hey council, come on the podcast and talk to us. I'm off to write a letter. I think we just broke North Taunton law. Dear North Taunton Council, please stop wasting taxpayer money, your time and staff time on trying to make laws that bear no resemblance to UK law. Residents would prefer the council to concentrate on rather more pressing matters. Keeping the budget under control, improving the town's facilities and amenities, more parking and EV charging points, and ensuring that local services provide the best possible value for public money.
Nice letter. Have you got £5.95 for postage? Just time for some breaking news. You, Shane, made the front page of the local newspaper. What am I? Just a shadow puppet?